Welcome, beautiful people. You are now tuned into Zip Mouth Motivation, where we speak the truth. We speak the truth where others are afraid, where we heal what others are trying to hide, and where we walk even, we gonna walk in truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Definitely walk in truth. I'm your host, Marsha K, and today we are going to dive into a topic that's going to shake the room. And it's going to shake the room, y'all, because I am so frustrated. I feel like I need a woosah. The whole time I was doing this podcast and I was doing my notes, I was like, you know what? Ugh, I think I'm getting frustrated with the behaviors of people because I feel like, listen, it's time. Like, if you ain't changing now, like, what's up? What's going on? What's the problem? You know? And we definitely want to start to get into different things. So we're going to talk about control tonight and how it shows up in different areas of your life, like how it shows up in your relationship, how it shows up in your family dynamic, how it shows up even at your job. Because enough is enough, y'all. Enough is enough. I want to talk about those who feel I want to talk to those who feel like they're constantly being watched, questioned, limited, or manipulated. Because I'm tired of watching people being manipulated. I want to say something, but it's like, you got to learn. You got to learn, but I ain't going to tell y'all I ain't going to say nothing because most of the time I do. But either way, I want to dig into that because you know, someone has to tell you like what's good for you. And if you ever had a choice to be dictated or have have your voice silenced or have your boundaries crossed, you wouldn't choose that. You wouldn't choose that. But in today's society, like people are so sneaky and so cunning that you could barely you have to kind of question everything. And I don't see a problem with people questioning things. Me personally, I like questions. If you feel like something I'm doing isn't right, question me. Because I love when people advocate for themselves. So grab your tea. Hopefully it's some Takaya Divine tea. Sip on some peas. Let's talk about breaking the chains of control because that's where we are right now. It seems like the whole world want to control like everything that you do, you say, like your very being. You can't even be yourself anymore without people wanting to judge you. I just wish people went around the world and they just mind their own business. Like, if it's not hurting you, if it's not concerning you, why? Why? But why try to manipulate or control someone into something that, the whole time though, it's so crazy. I was doing this podcast and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk about control. And then I was like, I'm probably not gonna talk about it. I'm probably gonna get up here and say, forget these notes, and I'm gonna go with something else. But I am. So I definitely want to give honor to 101.5 Indie Radio for always supporting me, always allowing me to get on their platform and do my thing because that's what I like to do. That's what I like to do. So I appreciate them for allowing Zip Mouth Motivation. Y'all tap into 101.5 Indie Radio because we are here every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. We are on a break from Just TV, but we are definitely coming back. So make sure you are tapped in and tuned in. If you miss either one of those, you can definitely follow me on all my platforms. Zip Mouth Motivation, everywhere. Is it Zip Mouth Motivation? Yeah, Zip Mouth Motivation, except for TikTok. TikTok is Zip Mouth 21. Let's see. Facebook, we are Zip Mouth Motivation. I have no secrets. My personal page is open. So it is what it is. If you are able to be a friend, or follow, subscribe, whatever it is that you want to do. But jump in, get in where you fit in. Let's connect. And if I see that you follow me, I always follow you back. But y'all know the notifications on some of these apps don't work very well. But definitely tap into 101.5 Indie Radio every week, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Tap into all the shows though, because all the shows are great. Get a listen, enjoy the music, do what to do. So, what control really looks like, right? Because I'm frustrated, y'all. Y'all, I'm like in this high energy, like, I gotta get this thing out. Let's be honest, right? Control doesn't always look like yelling. Like you're not always gonna have somebody like yelling at you or telling you, "Oh, you worthless," or you nothing, or you're not. That's not how it's gonna happen. And what I'm learning is that control is coming so subtle now. Like people are so passive aggressive with the control, but it's still control. It doesn't always look like violence. Sometimes, like I said, it's quiet. It's wrapped in quote unquote love or protection. But we got to start being more aware of what's happening. In relationships, it might sound like if you really love me, you wouldn't go out like that. It would sound like I just don't want you talking to people who don't support us. That's what people be saying. Like I'm like I can't help lately but listen to conversations and be like, oh wow, that's and not even being just judgmental, just like what's happening? Because the control is like so subtle now. It's so passive aggressive. It's just like I'm gonna do this to show them that they can't play with me, but they ain't gonna know I'm really doing it. But they really catching on. See, it sounds confusing, right? In families, control might look like, you're the strong one. We need you to handle this problem. Let me tell y'all something, because I'm finding that families are starting to be the worst when it comes to this control thing. If your life isn't together, if you're not in a space where you need to be, you can't assist anybody else until you get into that space. Until you start taking care of you and until your life is balanced out, you can't do nothing for nobody else. And I want y'all to really think about that. People will put so many burdens on you in family dynamic, in family situations. They will put every burden on you because they feel like you're the strong one. But who the heck wants to be strong all the time? Because strong does not equal struggle. So if you're struggling, you got to learn to say no to your family. No, I cannot help. I understand that I'm the strong one, but I cannot do this. I need to get me together. I need to focus on me. I need to be able to move for me. If you want to keep your job, if you want to keep your peace, if you want to keep your spirit strong, you got to choose you first. A lot of times, and me being the older child, I think I heard this before from my family. They gonna probably choke me. I'm just being real. You're the oldest. You owe it to the family. I'm the oldest child, I'm the oldest girl in my family. And sometimes it get heavy. It gets heavy. And my family gonna be like, we gonna straight up. It's all good. I still love y'all. But at times it does. And sometimes I have to call my sister like, listen, I can't do that. I got XYZ WP thing going on and I cannot do that. I just feel like when you're not in a space where you're in a healthy situation or where you're in a comfortable situation or where you're in a situation where you can't assist somebody, we have to learn to say no. Even if it's the family, even if it's in a relationship that you're in, you have to learn, and this is so important, to choose you first. A lot of times we're not choosing us first because people are making us feel bad in a subtle way. They putting burdens on us that we shouldn't even have to carry. In a work setting, things like this will be said to you. You're not a team player unless you're available 24/7. Ha! Unless you're available 24/7, you are not a team player. If you want to keep your job, you do things my way. And I know people like, well, I got to listen to my supervisor. But at the same time, why can't you be able to challenge something that's going on in your position and be comfortable doing it, and they be comfortable receiving it from you because it's control. Just because you're at a higher authority or you're in a higher power than someone doesn't mean that they don't have a voice or they don't have a mind or they don't have, things that might support your business or your group or whatever. It doesn't mean that. And we have to get out of that. We have to get out of that mind frame because I feel like we are putting so many limits on us when we are the controller and when we're being controlled. But the truth, but here's the truth. Here's the truth. Control is not love. It's not leadership. It's fear wearing a mask. And I know my comments and my inbox gonna blow up because it's gonna bother somebody. This is definitely going to bother someone. Quote of the day: love doesn't control, love empowers. And no matter what capacity you're in, you should always be geared towards empowering people, not controlling them. I don't, like most people know, like my pet peeve is um, codependency. And I don't care who you are. My pet peeve is codependency. If you have to wait on somebody to make a move in your life, that's an issue. That is an issue. If you cannot move the way and be able to just be able to get into your space and take care of the things that you need to take, it's control. People are facading support and help with control, and that's weird. We have to get out of this space where we're allowing people to manipulate us in a subtle way because it's not fair. And I'm tired of watching it this week. I'm tired of watching it, y'all. I'm literally tired of watching it. If you love someone, you're going to empower them. You're going to empower them to do things on their own. You're going to empower them, meaning you might, I don't know, if you have a child and you see a child working hard to do something in their life, you don't want them to leave because all of us want our kids to be with us all the time because we feel like we're going to protect them from everything that's going to come. And it's not true. It's not true. And so we allow them, and people say, oh, I'm trying to teach them a lesson. What lesson are you trying to teach them? Because we should be empowering, right? We should be steering them towards the right directions. When it comes to family, when it comes to job, when it comes to a relationship, you should always want your mate to be independent without you. I started thinking the other day about when people say things like, um, they say things like, oh, well, my wife takes care of that, or this person does this for me, or that person. I always think like if that person wasn't there, like who would be taking care of that thing for you? And then it started reminding me of how when you lose somebody, right? You lose somebody in your life, and then you kind of feel stuck because they were taking care of everything. And they're going to say it was love, but it wasn't love, it was control. It was 100% control. When you have a family member, like I say, you have your kids and you see your child trying hard and pushing and all this stuff, and you just won the lottery or you just won some kind of big lump sum of money or something like that, and they walking and they getting on the bus, when you know yourself, it would be more convenient if you support them if they had a car or something. Now we're talking about somebody who's responsible. Why can't you meet them halfway? Why can't you sit them down and say, listen, I want to support you. How can I support you? I need help buying a car, mom. I got $5,000. I need another two, and help learning about insurance. We got to stop controlling people, y'all. We're not allowing people to grow and to flourish to who they really are. I've been taking these trainings, y'all. I've been taking these trainings these last couple of days, and these trainings are for like um, developmental clients. And so one of the things was saying like basically we isolate and basically control people who have developmental delays because we don't respect the fact that they're people first. We just instantly say, well, they have a developmental delay and they're not going to be able to accomplish what we're doing. That thing kind of hit me hard because I was like, you know what? We act like the whole world have a developmental delay, and we don't. We don't. This is an individual situation with each individual person. But a person who is developmental delayed, they can learn too. They can do all the things that we do. They can start a podcast, they can work machinery. It just takes them a little bit longer to learn. But if somebody actually takes the time out with them and teaches them instead of trying to control them and tell them what they can't do instead of believing in what they can do. And this is where that control, like, why are we controlling people? Control is rooted in fear and insecurities. So if you're the controller, you're fearful and you're insecure. Fear of being left alone, fear of losing power, fear of the unknown. And now what you're doing is you taking those fears and you placing it back onto those people who probably are not even fearful, who probably want to get out in life and do things, who probably want to have something, achieve something, meet a goal, be like, come on, y'all. But here's the flip side. People who allow themselves to be controlled often struggle with low self-worth, people pleasing, childhood conditioning, fear of confrontation, or they have been taught that peace means keeping other people comfortable. We finna slash that off. We like, y'all, I'm so frustrated. We are slashing that off. How are you going to keep somebody comfortable if you're not comfortable? We done being afraid of confrontation because what I'm finding is people is just confrontational for nothing. You don't even have to do nothing. I walked in the store today. I'm trying to get something. I don't even remember, I was getting a drink or something. The front counter guy, rude. Rude. He just rude. He just a rude person. He rude every time I come in there. Every time I come in there, he is a rude. Like he is just a rude person. No matter the situation, no matter whatever, he's just a rude person. You can smile at him, hey, how you doing? He just gonna straight face. He's just angry. But you have to keep going with those people because you know what? When you do, or when you stop being who you are, then they win. And I just got in my mind when I was a little child, like, ain't nobody controlling me. Nobody's controlling me. I'm doing whatever I feel I need to do. We just gonna live life. So when you allow people to do these things to you, that low self-worth comes in. And I get it. A lot of people feel like that. It's a lot of things going on in the world right now. People are frustrated. They feel like they're losing. They worried about what the president finna do. They worried about all these different things. The rent's high, housing is high. Everything is like set it off. So you feeling down. You feeling frustrated. I get it. But I don't know how many times I have to tell you, you are worth it. If you have to wake up every morning and say, I am worth it. If money is the situation, I seen this really cool thing today, and I'm going to spill this. If money is the situation, there was a recording where this man said you listen to it every day, 3-4 times a day. And the recording says, your account had 12 million something dollars in it. No, he didn't have that money in his bank, but he been listening to it every day. He been ingesting it every day, manifesting it every day. When you have that low self-worth, you have to pick your shoulders up, put your head up. We've gotten to this space where people make you feel bad for feeling like you quality. That's crazy. And guess what? That's them controlling you. because they know you shining. They know you great. But instead of supporting you because they got low self-worth, they want to drag you down and make you feel bad for picking your shoulders up and holding your head up and putting a smile on your face and continuing on through the battle no matter what happens. And then my biggest pet peeve, one of my biggest, because codependency is like top chart for me, people pleasing. Forget these people. Like literally, forget them. It's over with. We are no longer making other people happy while we sad and depressed and frustrated and down and out and we can't even walk half the time because we so worried about what somebody else got going on. Forget them. Forget it. And a big one is childhood conditioning. Lately, I've been talking to people and I just realized like, whew, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for my parents because I have seen and heard so much childhood conditioning that it's like I feel sad. I start crying because of all the things that people had to endure as a little child, innocent, don't know nothing, not able to make a real decision for themselves. Like, come on, y'all. When do we get out of these spaces? And when do we start moving on to something bigger and better? When do we start saying like, I'm not gonna let nobody control who I am. I'm gonna be who I am. I'm gonna love who I am. And if nobody don't agree with it, it's okay because I'm gonna walk in my truth. I'm gonna walk in my peace. I'm gonna walk in my anointing. I'm gonna walk in my strength. I'm gonna walk in my ability. Sometimes we don't even realize we're being controlled because we've been conditioned since childhood to be quiet, don't talk back, respect your elders, no matter what. And what did I just tell you? Sometimes you have to start questioning everything. You have to start questioning everything. Everything that's happening in your life, everything that you're thinking, every movement that's you have to question. It doesn't matter how old a person is, you should be able to ask them questions. And I know that sometimes we are, as children, conditioned to be quiet, but you're an adult now. Open your mouth, talk. And I'm not saying you have to be rude or you have to be vulgar, but question what people are trying to implant in your life. Question what their intentions are in your life. Question what their mindset is. Question, question. It's time. It is time to question. I'm big on respecting elders. I'm a grown woman, grown older woman. I still don't say cuss words in front of my mama. Just out of respect for the fact that that's my mom. And I know people have been conditioned, like, it's okay, I'm grown, I can say whatever I want to say. But I remember when I was a young girl that when my mom, they was older and they would be drinking and they would drink outside if it was older people in the house. They wouldn't walk through the house with a beer, or they wouldn't walk through a house smelling like weed, or, like they wouldn't do those things. It just wasn't a thing that you did. It didn't mean that you were any less than an adult. It just means that you respected the people who were there and you respected that space. But we want to throw our weight around, which in turn, when you start throwing your weight around because I'm grown and I'm this, that, and the other, and you have that lack of respect, now you controlling people with your emotions. So you were being controlled and now you're being taught to control. Oh, y'all didn't know I was going to say that one. That one just came because I'm trying to stay with my notes. That mindset can bleed into like your adulthood, us accepting jobs and relationships and family roles that drain us. It's crazy. We got to get out of this mode where we're allowing people to control everything about us, who we are, what we do, how we think, how we move. And I could sit here and say, well, you know what? It's time to heal. It is time to heal. But are y'all really ready to heal? Because we went through all of this healing during, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. We woo saying, we zenning and everything. We doing all of that. We doing all of that just to go backwards. We watching what we put into our spirits, and we setting boundaries, and we doing all of this stuff just to go. Y'all, we joking, right? This is a joke. This is a joke. I'm gonna tell y'all three stories. I'm gonna tell you three stories. And these are real stories, and people allowed me to share their stories, but I'm gonna use fake names just to protect their privacy, even though they said, tell them my name. So we have Jasmine. Jasmine's in a romantic relationship. Jasmine met her boyfriend at the age of 22. He was charming, charming, protective, always checking in. But over time, checking in turned into checking up. He picked up her clothes. He went through her phone. He decided who she could talk to, who she couldn't talk to. And then he would cover it up and say, I just love you too much to lose you. I just love you too much to lose you. That's not love. That is not love, y'all. I get it. Like this new generation is so, like they so insecure. And when I say new generation, I'm not talking about young people. I'm talking about from the age of 35 down or 35 up, insecure about everything. If you have to go through your mate phone, if you have to control and check your mate clothes, if you have to do all of that, leave that person. Leave them. Because who has the mental capacity to continue on behaving that way day after day, worried about what someone's doing, worried about where they're going? There's no way. There is an absolute no way. There's no way that you can love someone and have to monitor them that much. And there's no way that they love you to allow you to do that to them. And I said it, I know people are going to be mad about it, but it's not real love. It's control. You've been taught to control, and they've been taught to allow people to control them. They have low self esteem, low self worth. They're a people pleaser. They done went through childhood conditioning. They are afraid to be confrontational with you, to tell you like, this is crazy. That you don't trust me to go down the street, that you don't trust me to have a conversation with the opposite sex and not understand. If you don't trust that person, it's because you already know they're not trustworthy. Leave them. It's time to go. That's not the relationship for you. Relationships are sound. They're supposed to be sound. They're supposed to be trust. If you don't see your mate or talk to your mate for a day and a half or for a couple of hours or something like that, your instant thought shouldn't be that they're cheating. It shouldn't be that they're out doing something that they have. Maybe they fell asleep. Because if you're in a relationship with me, I'm asleep. I'm asleep. It shouldn't be that. We should be able to love each other and allow each other to grow and adventure off without the other person, or without the person feeling like you messing around on me, you gonna leave me, I don't want to lose you. No, you don't want to lose anybody. But if you lose them, they wasn't for you anyway. So it should be a determining factor what they do when they're with you versus what they do when they're without you. If that person has integrity, love, respect, honesty, trust, if they have all those things, you don't have nothing to worry about. Now let's get into Malik's story. This is like what the family role is. Malik was the fixer in this family. Anytime something went wrong, money, drama, chaos, they called for Malik. He was praised as a strong, but treated like a tool. When he said he needed a break, they guilted him. We thought you loved us. That wasn't loyalty. That was emotional manipulation. Like, come on, y'all. Come on. Because I know that somebody listening to this is one of them people that was in Malik's family, controlling them. This person coming in and fixing everything that's wrong, everything that's going on, everything that's happening, putting it back together, pacing pieces, going out and doing this for this person, that person, and moving this way and never allowed to be who they are. Never allowed to move like they need to move. I literally just told one of my friends, I I literally just told one of my friends, like, listen, I'm looking at stuff in your life. I'm feeling stuff. I'm seeing, I'm picking up on energy and all this kind of stuff. Listen, people are savages. And I don't care who they are. It could be your mom, it could be your sister, it could be your auntie, your cousin, it could be your close friend who say they're your friend, but they keep controlling you, but they listen to the intentions of people in your life. Ask yourself, when I can't do that, how do they treat me? Tell yourself, I'm not a tool for people just to use me whenever they feel like using me. I'm not a tool. I just recently told my son, we went to look at colleges, and then I felt something in my spirit. I was like, let me talk to my baby. And so I said to him, I said, son, I know like you play basketball and you want a career in basketball and like you want to go to college. He's very smart, he's an AB student. And I said, but are you sure you want to go to college? And it's like his face lit up, like his face lit up, literally lit up. And he said to me, looked me dead in my eye. He said, Mom, I don't know if I'm ready to go or not. And some people would have started like flipping out, like, oh, well, this. I told him, I said, you know what? I understand that. You'll be 18 in a little bit. And guess what? You don't have it all figured out at the age of 18. But I don't want you to stay here because you feel like I'm going to need you. Because I'm gonna be okay. I want you to make a solid decision as to what you want to do. Because that's the thing that's going to stick with you. And we get into these modes sometimes is where we want to keep people, family members, we want to keep them around us and we want to control everything that they do. It's not fair. It's control. You're not allowing them to flourish. You're not allowing them to be who they are. You're controlling them. You're controlling everything about them. It's not fair. It's not fair. And we have to get out of space to where we're telling our family members, we thought you loved us. The big one is you never do nothing for me. Stop. Y'all stop. Because these people are putting themselves to the side day after day after day to please you so that you don't get upset, so you don't feel a certain way, so you don't. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Pay attention to the intentions of your family members, of the people in your relationships. Are they controlling you with their words? Are they controlling you with their emotions? And then in the workplace. Now we're going to call this person Bree. Bree worked at a nonprofit, right? Her boss constantly shift deadlines, called after hours and made passive aggressive comments in meetings. And like when she asked for clarity or rest, she was never heard. The only thing that was said to her is if you want to move up here, you'll need thicker skin. What? That wasn't leadership, that was control marked in professionalism. Because if somebody gonna move you up, they're gonna move you up for the quality of your work, for your work ethic, the way you move, the way you handle things, the way you're on top of things. That's what they're going to do. That is what they're going to support, empower, and trust. They're going to realize that you're carrying, like, whatever load you're carrying, they're going to realize that you're carrying that load. And they're even going to try to support with that load or help you sift through that load. But they're not going to tell you things like, if you want to move up here, you'll have to have thick skin. Hey, forget thick skin. Forget that. Forget being strong. Forget the thick skin. Forget all of that stuff. I just told somebody I'm in my soft girl era. I don't. I can't be bothered. I'm not gonna argue. You're not gonna force me to do nothing. No, absolutely not. I'm in my soft girl era. I am definitely in my soft girl era. I am in my soft girl era. And so you have to start being in your soft man era where you can't be bothered. Or your soft girl era, whatever era you want to be in that space. It's okay. It is legit okay. It's okay to tell people like you're not treating me right. It's okay to say, hey, you know what? I don't want thick skin. I just want you to look at the quality of my work. It's okay to tell your mate, like, you don't have to go through my phone. I love you. You don't have to tell me you trying to protect me from other people. Maybe you trying to protect yourself from them other people. Or maybe they want to be protected from you. I don't know. But either way, we have to stop allowing people to control who we are. I'm getting so frustrated. I'm to the point, y'all, like I just want to go. When people start controlling people, I just want to go to the other person and say, stop controlling them. Like, and I can't do that because like sometimes you gotta just listen and you gotta allow people to learn. And I'm not gonna say all the time I don't say something, but most of the time I'm gonna stop them. I am gonna stop because it's just frustrating to watch people be controlled. I love to see people free. I love to see people being them and doing them and being happy. I love to see people go through life and try things. And if they make a mistake, it's okay. It is okay. There's nothing wrong with making errors in life because that's what it is. It's trial and error. You're not gonna have it right all the time, and nobody don't have to protect you from life because what's gonna happen is going to happen. Whatever your destiny is, it's coming. Let's shift it into the mindset. Let's shift the energy just a little bit. Control ends when clarity begins. And I'm going to say that again because I think that's big. Control ends when clarity begins. When you start recognizing what's happening to you, you begin to reclaim your power. And y'all know I'm big on power, reclaiming that power like every day. I'm calling back all of my energy, all of my good energy. Reclaim that power. Reclaim it. People will try to say that you are being mean or you're being rude or oh you changing. And you have to look at yourself and say, I'm changing for the betterment of me. I gotta start getting clarity in these different situations that's happening in my life that I feel like I'm stuck or I'm just hitting a brick wall or I'm not being myself or I can't be myself or I don't feel normal. I feel like I'm doing everything for everybody, but I have this long list of stuff on this side that I haven't accomplished for myself. Stop. Control ends when clarity begins. Do you feel like emotionally safe? You have to start asking yourself these questions like, do I feel emotionally safe in this relationship, this family dynamic, this workplace? And when I say emotionally safe, like, do you feel at peace? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel like you can be yourself? Do you feel like you have the liberty to say, no, I can't do that today? Do you feel like you have the liberty to ask questions? Well, why am I doing? Do you feel emotionally safe? You have to ask yourself, do I feel like I can say no without punishment or guilt? And that is the big one. Because I'm learning that people got these little silent punishment things. This silent treatment thing is a silent punishment. Say what's on your mind and move on. Either they're going to agree or they're going to disagree. Either way, don't fester that stuff in your chest saying, you know what, I'm just not going to talk to them. Now, if you want to say what you got to say, and then afterwards you want to hear what they got to say, and then you still want to block them, do that. Or you could take a little page out of my book. You get two times. The first time, I'm going to correct you. I'm going to tell you, like, I don't like that. The second time, I'm going to correct you. I'm going to say what I have to say. I'm going to tell you what my plan of action is, and then I'm going to move forward. I'm going to move forward. Now, if that means never talking to you again, you need to be fine with that, and I'm going to be fine with that. Because obviously, the relationship or the family dynamic or the workplace situation is too much. I'm not feeling emotionally safe, and I need to feel that way. It's important to feel that way. In any relationship dynamic that you're in, you need to feel that emotional safety. You need to know that you can say, no, I don't want to, I can't, without someone guilting you or giving you some kind of punishment as an adult when they can have a conversation. You need to have that ability. Ask yourself, do I shrink to make others feel comfortable? Remember when I said they got you working on a list and a list like chopping down. It's like you got this tall tree over here, you chop, 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 chop. You done got your everything off of the now you get to the bottom of their list, and guess what? You start to work on your list, and then here they go calling you again because they list done grew again. Oh no. No, no. Those are the spaces when you have to start saying no. When you're not focusing on your goals and your like your things, your passion, your dreams, whatever it is that you have to do, but you chopping away at somebody else's stuff, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way. No way. It's time for you to start. It's time for you to stop shrinking yourself to make others feel comfortable. If they feel uncomfortable because they're not getting their things done, that's on them. If they feel uncomfortable with you saying no, if they feel uncomfortable with you not being available all the time, if they feel uncomfortable with you not allowing them to control them, that is on them. That is on them. And we got to start getting into the space that we say, like, that's not my problem. And it might sound rude to people because people are always feeling like you got to get involved in this because I feel like you should have something to say. Well, I don't. Well, I don't. You got to allow me to go through your phone once a week when you come home and without you saying nothing, because that's how I feel comfortable about the fact that I don't think that you cheating. What are you going through my phone for? Do you trust me? Do you love me? In the workplace environment, people have to start respecting one another and appreciating one another because we're supposed to be a team. Mantras to break free from control. And say these mantras: I do not owe comfort to those who hurt me. If someone is controlling you, they're hurting you. If they're guilting you, they're hurting you. My peace is not negotiable. And I want y'all to say this one 100 times a day. My peace is not negotiable. My peace is not negotiable. I give myself permission to choose freedom over fear. Don't allow people to impose their fears on you and then control you. Even when it comes to being a parent, parents, when your children start getting big and they start coming into their own and they becoming young men and young women, you got to allow them to be who they are. It's the only way for them to flourish and to grow, and for you to be excited and say, you know what, I'm proud of my baby. Another mantra: boundaries are not betrayal, they are sacred. Stop letting people knock down the boundaries. You in your bed laying down and you saying all this stuff in your head about the situation that happened. And the next time that this happened, I'm gonna say this, and the next time I'm not gonna let them control me. And the next time, and then here they go knocking on the door. Guess what you do? You jump up, or they call your phone. You answer, yes. Nah, say that stuff you were saying in your head when you was in the bed. Tell them how you really feel about the control and the manipulation. Tell them. And then when you say it, you put your shoulders up and you hold your head up and you walk forward because you have this. And I don't want to say you got this, you have this because it's inside of you. Now we're going to have to let's breathe so we can learn how to walk free. We're breaking out of these chains of allowing people to control us and manipulate us in relationships, in families, in work environments. We are done with the control. It's over. Today it stops. So let's talk about a strategy. I'm going to give you 5 mindset action steps to take when you're breaking free from a controlling environment. Now go get your pen and your paper or start putting the notes in because we're going to go through them. The first one is name it. Stop sugarcoating the behavior. It's not a concern, it's control. People will come and they be like, I have a concern about something that's going on. And when they start telling me the story, I be like, oh, so you just letting them control you? And they be like, no, 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 that's not what I'm saying. And then I start asking more questions and they be like, you're right, they is controlling me. Absolutely. It stops today. Because you're going to speak up for yourself. You're going to advocate for yourself. I'm empowering you to be able to do that. So step 1 of breaking free from a controlling environment is name it. Do not sugarcoat it. What is that person doing to you to control you and manipulate you, guilt you, make you uncomfortable while you're making them comfortable? What are they doing? Name it. Number 2, speak your truth. Even if your voice shakes, even if you start crying, and I know people be like, I don't like to start crying, da, 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 da. Girl, you better, boy or girl or woman or man, you better let those tears fall with your voice shaking and all of that stuff and say what you have to say. Say what's real. I feel like you're controlling me. I feel unsafe emotionally. This doesn't work for me. Let's go. Let's go. It's important for you to speak your truth. Set boundaries is number 3. You're allowed to say, no, I won't take on that extra work. I already have this, and this I'm doing. I already have enough on my plate. Let me show you what I'm doing. Let me show you my system so you can see what I'm going through. No, I won't be able to be you. I want to, no, I won't allow you to guilt me into giving more when I don't have any more to give. Because people that are controlling, they will take. And I already did a podcast about things. There has to be energy has to go back and forth. It has to flow. You can't continue to give out without giving something back in. You want me to take on these new responsibilities? Am I getting more money? Because I need that energy. Number 4, build a support system. Talk to people outside the toxic dynamic. A therapist, a coach. Is it my motivation? A friend who listens without judgment, but who listens and understands how you feel and what you're going through. It's important. It's very important. And number 5, protect your peace. You don't have to explain why you're leaving or being distant or declining. Peace is a full sentence. It is. And you know what? This is the year that 2025, I learned that, listen, peace is a full sentence. I'm done explaining. I'm not explaining anything because people are completely aware of what they do, and I'm not explaining. It is what it is. You moved that way, and I moved this way. You moved towards chaos, and I decided I'm going to be peaceful. I'm not explaining. It's over. Today, it stops for you. You don't have to explain to people why you're choosing peace. If you feel like, what is the word that they use? Closure in any relationship, whether it's a work relationship, a friendship, a family ship, I don't care what kind of ship it is. If you feel like that place is not providing the peace that you need, the comfortability that you need, it's time to distance. And you don't have to explain. Because right now, you're protecting your peace. Now, when it comes to that boundaries and peace, y'all be careful because last podcast I talked about sometimes people think they setting boundaries, but they building walls. We're not building walls. We setting boundaries. We protecting our peace. We're not being destructive. Because if you're a person that needs closure, you're just that person that needs closure. You want to try to have a conversation, fine. But I no longer want to talk about what things people know that they do are controlling or manipulating. I'm just going to protect my peace. And you can choose that way too. You have that ability. You have that mindset. You have that strength to be able to do that. And this is the space that you have to stay in. So the 5 steps were, number 1, name it. Name it. Don't sugarcoat. They're controlling you. Number 2, speak your truth. Speak your truth. You're allowed to speak. You have a voice. You have a mouth and you have teeth and a tongue and all these things that you have. Speak your truth. Number 3, set boundaries. Set boundaries and not walls. Set boundaries and not walls. Number 4, build a support system. Keep some positive people around you that can speak light into you, that will tell you, yes, I know they've been controlling you for years. I just didn't want to say nothing because I thought you were comfortable. And you got to tell them, no, I was feeling low about myself. I didn't have no self-worth. I was just letting them do that because I'm a people pleaser. I was scared of confrontation. I just didn't want to get into it with him, so I didn't say anything. Be honest. Number 5, protect your peace. It's important. We are not going to continue to go on to 2026 allowing people to control us and not being able to think with our own mind. Allowing people and knowing that they're manipulating us, but we're still staying in the situations, familyship, relationship, workship, allowing people to manipulate us. It's control and it's not fair. And I'm getting frustrated. So do you want me to come and tell? I'm just joking. I'm just joking, y'all. I'm going to leave you with this. You were not born to be controlled. You were born to be free. If someone loves you, they will not silence you. I'm going to say that again. If someone loves you, they will not silence you. If someone respects you, they will not guilt you. I'm going to say it again. If someone respects you, they will not guilt you. Whatever your choice is, they're going to respect it. And no, they may not like it, and you may not like the choices that everybody else makes, but you have to respect them. Respect them. Today's affirmations. I honor my boundaries, even when others do not. I deserve freedom in all my relationships. I release the need to please people who control me. I walk in truth and not fear. I honor my boundaries even when others don't. I deserve freedom in all my relationships. I release the need to people please people who try to control me. I walk in truth and not in fear. As always, y'all know I love y'all. I respect y'all. Thank you for tuning in to Zip Mouth Motivation, where we talk about what others want to tiptoe around. Because I ain't tiptoeing. This is the episode that, if this episode spoke to you, share it with someone. Share it with someone you love. Even if it's that person who's controlling you. You could say Zip said. You say it just like that. Zip said, and then send them the clip. Let's break these cycles together. Let's break them together, because you don't have to do anything by yourself. Special thanks to our sponsors, Takaya Divine Tea, where healing starts with a sip and ends with the soul. We're live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. on 101.5 Indie Radio. You can also, in the summertime, you can catch us back on Just TV starting in June. Until next time, y'all, remember, close your mouths to being silent. To being silent. That means open your mouth and speak. Open your mouth and speak your truth. Don't let nobody silence you. Tell them what you feel. Don't allow people to control you. Emotionally, manipulation. That's over with. After today, after you listen to this, you know that you are worthy. Call it out. Change it. Protect your peace. Set those boundaries. Do those things that we were doing, but then we're getting a little distracted lately. I'm Demasha Kane, and I love you enough to challenge you. See you next week. I appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in as always. And this is your challenge, and this is your movement. I love you all. Good night. Yeah.